up guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kackie and I'm a little further away from the camera today, if you're keeping track. That is because we are going to be doing a little bit of a haul today, and by a little bit I mean a lot of a bit. I have done some pretty kind of all over the place shopping. I'm going to be showing you guys kind of a smattering of what I've gotten probably in the last few weeks or so. And if you are hoping for a nice basics haul for fall/winter, this is the haul for you guys. I don't know what this says about me, but all of the stuff that I've been getting lately has just been really like elevated basics and just sort of like wardrobe foundational staples. And I think that actually that is a harder thing to find sometimes if you log on to like ASOS or Madewell. A lot of the times, which are my two favorites, a lot of the time what you find are really, really cool pieces, but they are a little bit trendier. They're kind of like, the velvet thing is happening right now, the ruffles thing is happening right now. There's a lot of patterns and things like that. You know, we just got done with Fashion Week, and so it's like everything is very vivid and everything is very kind of like of the moment, and I have aesthetically just kind of been backing away a little bit recently, and I've been sort of ascribing to a little bit of sort of, I don't want to freak anybody out, but I've been searching the Olsen twins on Pinterest a lot lately because I just love their like low-key style, and so I have been looking at kind of minimalist fashion, getting inspired to just sort of like get back to basics, and so that is what this haul is today. So brace yourself for a lot of muted tones and black and white and things like that, but if that's your thing, I don't know, maybe you'll see some stuff that you want to get. So without further ado guys, let's get into the haul. Okay, let's start with shoes because I've gotten a couple of really good pairs of shoes lately. The first one I actually got off of ASOS, and it took me 3 times ordering them to get the right size because for whatever reason they run somewhere between a men's size and a women's size. It is not a men's size as listed on the website, and it is certainly not a women's size because I ordered a size 8 and it didn't work out. So, no, I ordered a size 7.5 because I know that Adidas usually run a little bit big. So I ordered a 7.5, I ended up having to get a 7 and then a 6.5. So, the shoes that took so long to get were these. I don't know if you guys had a lot of the cool dudes in like elementary and middle school, like rocking Sambas all the time, but I love Sambas and I've never owned a pair of my own, and so I got these, and I am a woman of leisure. I do not wear socks. It's just a thing that I don't do, and so these will probably end up smelling terrible ultimately, but I got them super snug, and that's what I like. I don't like big clunky things that are slipping all over my feet, and so I got these, and they really go with everything. They're really warm, which is sort of not seasonable right now. It is definitely fall by the calendar standards, but it's definitely not fall outside in Austin, Texas right now. So the few days that I have worn these, I've had to wear them with like a sleeveless top or something like that, and only in the office because it's nice and cool in the office. But these are not necessarily seasonally appropriate yet. Most of this isn't. This is kind of a jumping forward, looking forward to fall and winter kind of haul, maybe a wishful thinking haul, but these I think are going to work really, really nicely for my sort of casual days. They're super, super comfortable, and they were not that expensive. I think I got them on sale, they were like 70 bucks. Next, and this is something that I've actually been in search of for a really long time, I have been in love with the Robert Clergerie like croc loafers for a really long time, but I'm not about to spend $500 on a pair of shoes. Like, it's just not something I'm gonna do. And I saw these on ASOS actually more recently, and they were really, really expensive. These are by Whistles, and they are a really beautiful kind of like croc mule. And I mean, this is exactly what I've been looking for, but like I've never been willing to shell the cash out. And they marked them down 50% from where they were. So these were still $130, which is not cheap, but they are, I mean, honestly, they're exactly what I've been looking for. They are a mule, which is perfect. They're super duper comfortable. They're very well made. They've got this cool kind of chain detail right here, and they are a kind of cognac croc leather, and that is like exactly what I've been looking for. And so I was willing to just kind of bite the bullet on these. And I had returned a few other things that hadn't worked out for me, and so I had a little bit of kind of like store credit in my mind, you know what I mean? Like things that were basically like already refunded. Like that's how things work in my brain. It's sort of like my shopping budget had refunded me a little bit for the month, and so I just kind of splurged on these, and I think that they are absolutely beautiful. I wore them yesterday, and I think that they are going to last me a really long time. They just give me kind of that like chill, high quality, Olsen twin / Gwyneth Paltrow kind of vibe. If you hate those people, then like ignore what I just said, but I don't know. I look to timeless dressers for my style tips usually, because when I'm going to put the money in, I don't want it to be on something that is only gonna last me a season. So I think I can wear these pretty much year round. Except for, you know, February probably. Okay, next, I got this sweater, and I'm going to show you guys all this stuff kind of tried on. This is a sweater I got. This is an actual ASOS brand sweater, and it is kind of a stretch wool blend. And I got this mainly because I needed kind of a sweater for the office, but I really like the color. I love kind of how it looks with everything, and it is super duper warm, super duper comfortable. I don't want to like stock up on this kind of stuff in my closet because it does kind of like, it smacks a little bit like depression uniform. It's kind of like a Snuggie, and I'm not really trying to do that all day long. But I do think that it's important to just kind of have one thing that you can sort of throw on. I also like the ones that they have at Madewell that are sort of like a rust color, but they ran out of them. So I went with this, and we'll see what else comes my way. I think this bad boy was like 40 bucks. Not a big deal. Good stuff. All right, next we have a couple of things that are very similar. So I went on Everlane. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Everlane. They have the radical transparency kind of tagline, and that is because all of their stuff is not necessarily manufactured in the United States, but they are very clear about where they manufacture it, how they pay their workers. Also, the markups on all of their clothes on the site are very clearly laid out, you know, in like a math problem. So you know exactly why you're paying what you're paying, where your money's going, etc. And so they make really great elevated basics. I've had, when they first started, I ordered a few things that I didn't like, but they've been taken off the site since then. Like, I ordered some linen stuff that just shrank in the wash really badly, but I have some t-shirts from them that I've had for years. They're awesome, and they wash really well. They're really lightweight, and they're really just kind of like, it's a sincere product, and I really appreciate that. They're not trying to blow smoke up your skirt. So this is just a regular Oxford white shirt that I really needed in my life, because the whole thing that's happening right now is just either like really high cost, high quality, or very low cost, low quality, and I needed something right in the middle that wasn't a freaking J. Crew shirt. You know what I mean? Every time I buy a J. Crew dress shirt, it's just too tight in the sleeves, and it's cut too tight for me. It's very like Banana Republic, you know what I mean? I wanted something that just sort of like draped on me a little bit better, and so I went to Everlane, and I love this. I'm really, really excited about it. It's gonna be kind of a, you know, a good piece to sort of keep mixing and matching. The only thing that I'm afraid of is that I'm gonna probably need 5 of them, because I'm going to want to wear them every day. Bearing that in mind, I also got a version of it that is a dress. And I actually don't always intend to wear this as a dress. I'm not actually a big dress person usually, because I like to sort of like sit comfortably. I'm a bit of a tomboy, and so I think that when it gets really cool outside, this will be great to wear with jeans and just sort of like have a nice sort of like covered up, put together, comfortable outfit. The greatest thing about this is that it has pockets, and it's made out of a little bit heavier of a cotton than the poplin. I think it's gonna wash nicely. It's gonna be a good wardrobe staple for me. And so I think that, you know, with all this stuff, you can just kind of like chuck layers on top of it, and it's just gonna like really function nicely, be really movable, be really kind of layerable. So that's what I've been going for. All right, so moving on here, sticking with the theme, I got a couple of white t-shirts, and that is just because when I wake up in the morning, I have this feeling where I'm like, I just want to put on a white t-shirt, and there just aren't enough in my wardrobe. Do you know that feeling where you wake up and you look at all your clothes and you're like, I just want to put on a white t-shirt? Like, that's where I'm at. And so I got this one, which is from ASOS. The brand is Weekday. And I actually have a dress kind of like this in black that is by Cheap Monday, and it's just sort of high neck, and then it does kind of a one piece on the shoulders. It's kind of almost like a 50s silhouette, the way that it comes up all the way up to the neck. And it's really nice. It kind of tucks well into jeans. It's sort of blousey and things like that. I wore it with a pleather skirt this week, and I loved it. I wore it with that and sneakers, and it just works really, really nicely as kind of like, again, a basic foundational piece. And then I also, this isn't clean. I just pulled it out of the wash and steamed it so that I could show it, but it has a Caesar salad dressing stain on it right now, but just ignore that. This is another just regular white t-shirt, and it's a nice, like, you know, normal silhouette, and it is by Selected Cotton, also from ASOS. both of these I think were like, you know, in the $20 range, maybe even less. So I just really needed some nice like white t-shirt basic situations in here, because sometimes I just want to be like kind of tomboyish and like, you know, focus on my shoes or focus on my accessories, not so much just like my outfit making a statement. So I'm all about kind of high quality and a good fit, more so than something being really, really trendy. Then, this is something that I've been wanting to pull the trigger on for a really long time, and I know this is really silly, but just to have a nice pullover that like looks okay and isn't just like pajama looking or just like beat to shit that I'm gonna like wear when I run or something like that. Like I want to have a distinction between my athletic clothes and my athleisure clothes, and this is definitely like an athleisure staple. This is just the regular Adidas truffle like sweatshirt. It's just a hoodie, you know, and it's black, and I want to wear this kind of over leggings and under like a leather jacket and just sort of like, you know, have that be sort of a good kind of travel uniform or a chill day. And I really am like, took me a while to pull the trigger on this because I think they're like $70, but it's a staple. Like I just think it's gonna be a great thing to have. So another black and white item for you guys. And then finally, actually, this isn't really like a staple by any means. I just got this, and it is because we're going to a wedding at the end of the month, and I didn't want to wear obviously all white or all black, but there's just something right now, I just didn't want to just buy a dress just to buy a dress. I wanted to buy something that I really liked, and I saw this and I was like, this is beautiful. It's floor length and it is kind of fitted, but like a lot of the lace stuff that you buy doesn't have any stretch to it. It's actually like the lace stretches a little bit, so it fits really nicely. And I think that it is just absolutely beautiful. And I think that because it's got the nude underneath and the black on top, it is not really that, you know what I mean? It doesn't look mournful. The way you don't look mournful at a wedding, but you also don't want to wear like white or anything like even close to white because you don't want to upstage the bride. So I think that this is just about right. It's conservative enough, it doesn't show anything, and it is just kind of like fall appropriate for a wedding. And I think that I'm actually going to get a lot of wear out of it. I think that it has a lot of sort of future to it. It's not just one of those things where, you know, I've had those really loud dresses that I wear to a wedding and then I end up selling them because I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I have a lot of pictures in this dress and it's gonna look like they were all the same day if I keep wearing it. So maybe that's just me, but I don't know. I thought this was really cool. I got this on ASOS as well. I think it was like $90, you know, for a good like wedding guest dress or event dress. Not bad. Alright guys, and that concludes the collective haul of things that I have gotten recently, and I hope that you maybe found some inspiration here. It's kind of on the vibe of like capsule wardrobe, you know, but at the same time, I don't have the restraint to actually have a capsule wardrobe. I don't want to game everything in my life. Like, I feel like that's for people who like to game things in their life, and I have to really stay away from that stuff because I tend to obsess. But I really like the simplicity here. It's all to me about taking care of your clothes and making sure, especially with white stuff, that you always wash it separately, you always read the instructions so that this kind of stuff really lasts, and that's why I don't mind investing in these pieces just to, you know, be staples in my wardrobe for a long time. So if you guys like this, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to keep hanging out with me in the future, go ahead and hit that button down below and subscribe if I can talk. And guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. I love you, each and every one of you. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I will talk to you as soon as possible. Bye.